Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another Russian cast. And today we are having a look at a Rengar in the top lane. I've heard of legends of this Korean Rengar player who is tearing up the rift. Ladies and gentlemen, this one is the one, the Rengar King. Alright, so Rengar obviously not really a champion that I'm too familiar with in the top lane. Top lane being probably my least familiar role. However, this is kind of expected, right? So what Rengar does is he uses the bushes to yeah, to do these things to his enemies. So Rengar kind of focused around this very specific mechanic, and so it can be really hard to deal with Rengar. And as you can see, Gangplank knows exactly how far he can step up and how far he can't, right? So far, do you see how stupid the traits are that you can take as Rengar? This is one of the big issues with Rengar in the top lane, and when playing against him, it can feel so bad to play against him because he can take the craziest trades. Just go under a turret, Q you there, and still wins the trade because he has his W. It can be ridiculous. And so you can see how much tempo obviously he is creating in this lane. Using his double W to cleanse himself off of the damage that he's taken, right? And this bowler was actually not a bad one, because what happened there is he bound Gangplank inside of all of the minions, right? So that is quite good for him, as there is a skirmish in the mid lane and he is moving in. Unfortunately, he's not going to be quick enough, and now he can't use Scuttle Crab either. He uses Scuttle Crab to get a stack, but won't that stack just expire? Oh, apparently not. Alright, so he's pre-stacking, I guess. Moves right into the bush. And he's ready to fight GP. Ooh, very good job. And there he detects GP's mistake. He activated the barrel, and he will find him and end him. It's kind of ridiculous because it looks so unavoidable, you know? It looks so incredibly strong and so unavoidable. Also, by the way, I want to point that out, was a very good recall on Rengar's side here. He realized the wave would push towards him and he wouldn't be able to push it in before he would teleport, right? So what he decided to do instead is he said, okay, fine. I'm just going to let that wave sit there. Gangplank will probably push it into tower, but I will still get the minions and at least the XP, right? Instead of trying to shove it in and then giving Gangplank a way to freeze it, he elects to not do so. So I think that's a really good one, right? So that's a good play to point out. And then obviously this is something that happens a lot in higher elo. Something like a Karma, Blitzcrank, all this. They're going to roam and they're going to do it as early as possible, right? And so in this one it happened too, and Gangplank went down to it. Obviously you want to gank a Rengar because Rengar is incredibly lane dominant, and so if you can get him ahead, that is very good for you. We already have Ionian boots, and we also have... Wait, did he ult to get to lane? He ulted to get to lane and catch this wave and freeze it. Okay, interesting. So we see the scrying orb being activated in the blue side. That was probably GP, yeah. There he goes up. And we jump to a minion. Move into Gangplank, but now we're taking a good bit of damage here. Yeah, W will come out, but this Rengar has to flash. And now you're not going to get out. Very beautiful job by GP. Standing his ground. And yeah, if there's not enough pushes, then you all of a sudden can't do the jumpy jump. But this Rengar, he knows that once he can get a hold of one push, the whole fiesta can start again. Alright, Karma. Looking at GP. Yep. And GP will go down to the Taric Ignite. No. He will just take down the Taric. Says, thank you very much. My lane is back on the radar again. This is very good for... Okay. But this is very good for GP anyhow. This was a lot of resources spent just to kill him, and then he ended up getting a kill yet. So not bad. Obviously also all this gold is now on Karma. So, you know, there are people that it would be much better on than Karma. So this is very good for the red team. We'll see how exactly this one ends up panning out, but Rengar right now, not too bad. The question is, will he be able to deal with the barrels this time? Or I would say no, but you know, this can jump into Rengar's favor any second, because if he decides to ult here, he can jump onto GP and then he can just use the bush, right? So here the ultimate comes and the double bowler is going to be cleansed instantly. Flash used by GP, so that is really good for GP that he got out. However, now Rengar has gained control of the bushes and now the lane morphs into a much scarier version of itself. Again, right? And if you can push it, constantly push in Rengar, he obviously can't even get to the bushes, but if he can. Yeah, GP knows. GP knows. And meanwhile, by the way, the bot lane turret is just going down, so Mr. Varus is not having a good time. Alright, Rengar takes the ultimate here. Yeah. Rengar, big damage. Taric takes the aggro, and so everyone gets out scot-free. As the turret will be attacked and probably taken down here as well. Yep, will be taken down now. No one can stop this. This is going to be very interesting still. I think the pivotal thing here is that the mid laner isn't doing too hot. There's the Syndra, and I think Jhin alone will not be able to deal with the enemy team, as Taric, Ryze, Rengar, and then Varus and Karma, they're a pretty good comp together. They can run at you pretty fast and they can deal a lot of damage. And I don't know if Jhin is going to be enough. Alright, we're going to recall and get ourselves Gorgon. Ryze ultimate coming in, and that is one kill pickup. This is going to be at least one more kill picked up. Yeah, the double E. The Bola lands at snares. And Yumi will not be able to get out. Yumi will be able to get out. The flash into the bush that didn't connect. That too. This is obviously great for Rengar. Yeah, Jhin not getting away. Jhin goes down. Shut down over to Rengar. 5-0-2 just out of that skirmish. This goes to show, you know, discipline. And eventually you will get through. Alright. So, seems like we're going towards a deadment. Very interesting. So, basically what that says is I'm not going to need more damage. I'm just going to need more movement speed to get on top of it. It also gives you, you know, a good amount of on-hit damage right up front. So yeah, the traps can be pretty useful for Rengar. My Rengar ultimate, he double jumps to a ward, but Yuumi has been snared. Yuumi will go down with saving for 80 carry. Beautiful, like very quick thinking as well with the ultimate where he jumps towards the control ward and then goes further instead of, you know, instead of just running through with the ultimate. These are the little plays that you can make with Rengar, where if you can start using wards real well, you are a scary Rengar player. Crab only taken one of these in-between objectives, right? Ooh, it seems like Deadman's Plate might be available here. That means he is not defending the mid lane, however, so yeah, but Deadman's Plate is available now. As we are moving into the jungle, so we might be hunting for someone in a second. We'll see. Ultimate not used yet. Just walks into lane, showing his hand. Starts attacking, and so now he knows that he can still chase, right? Still use the ultimate to chase. Yeah, see? Exactly that. So, no flash available for GP now, which means he will not be able to do anything if Rengar decides to ult on him next time, right? Not really going to be able to kill him, not really going to be able to run away. So we'll see how that one pans out, but I'm expecting that GP will have to play super safe where Rengar is. Rengar acquiring yet another assist point, so can't jump to that control ward, unfortunately. As we are laying chase to buy. Decided to turn on the partner. Also not very wholeheartedly, and goes down to the Rengar King. 10-0-3 so far. That is the stat line. Will this game stay perfect? And I mean, also something to point out is just because Rengar is ahead doesn't mean that this game is over, right? I would say that Rengar isn't necessarily the champion that can just take over the game. Because usually he's also very swift. However, with this build, you know what? I actually retract that. Because with this build, he is going to be incredibly tanky. And probably still deal a decent amount of damage. Yeah, you know what? Maybe this is the build out of all builds. Because one thing that Rengar... Flash ultimate. And we're going to make it. Bada W. Out there was Sizzle by is dead. All HP has been recovered. Thank you very much. Nice. Force of Nature will gain Syndra some space, and she will be able to get away, but Yuumi once again has to pay with her life. As it seems to be custom in this game. The right slash connects, and that is another kill for the Rengar King. Yeah, you should have known better. Engaging on Rengar that is that tanky is also pretty annoying because he can just regenerate a lot of work that you put in. And Vi, who was previously pretty far ahead, looked pretty good. Now, not so good. Not such a good situation to be in. As GP takes a second tower for himself, something that Rengar has not done, and that clearly shows the focus here on team fighting and skirmishing out of the Rengar, as it would seem that we are going for what? We're going for a death stance. And then there's also a random winged blade. Magic Castle is the rising tide, so everyone knows. Says Rengar. Now the bounty for himself. 12-0-6. This guy is on fire, and like he hasn't. There have been two situations where he was pretty close to dying and very in danger, and that was it. Like the otherwise, he's just roaming, creating man advantages, not really coming through with any clutch plays or anything, right? But just super good macros, creating the advantage, and just using the advantage of having this strong champion. Such a strong skirmisher, able to regenerate so much HP in the fight and use that grey health correctly. Easy prey, huh? Fine. You say so. Oh no. GG, thank you very much for watching, and see you guys in the next one. If you like this one, be sure to hit me up with a sub.